Good morning and welcome to a day in the life of solo traveling Europe and living in Switzerland. This morning I was taking out my leggings and then this squirrel ran across my window out of nowhere and I was afraid it would jump in, so I closed the window, but it was all good. And then Arlo and I laid down here and did our little morning routine of me asking if he's ready to go outside. And then we get up and start the day. My random Italian face wash. This is the first with it raining here. Oh, Arlo's doing his biz. Very good. I need to learn that Ugg boots are not rain boots. Wait. Okay. So we are trying something new today, which is a vlog style. I was a little nervous to get into this because in my mind it's a lot of editing, but then I was kind of going through it. I was like, it's only a lot of editing if you make it a lot of editing. And I really just been enjoying the mostly unfiltered, pretty unfiltered videos that I've been sharing with you guys the past 2 weeks. So welcome to my coffee time. Arya, you wanna come up here? Come here. Come here. So this is what we do. Sit here. I have a whole arrangement of things. I've got my yogurt, which at the bottom I put apricot jam, and then on the top I topped a little bit of honey today. A lot of sugar, a lot of carbs, but helps you wake up. And now I'm trying to be good and starting with warm lemon water and then coffee time. And oh my goodness. Ever since getting to Europe, starting in Italy and then coming here to Switzerland, I've just been overdosing on caffeine. Like, the first time I realized, like the first 2 weeks I got here, I was not sleeping and I was like, okay, I guess I'm just jet lagged. And then when it was still going on, like 3 weeks after, I was like, what the heck? And I went to my cousin's house in Lugano, Switzerland, and he made me a cup of coffee, and I asked for another one, and then he was like, you want another one? Like, that's gonna be like 6 shots of espresso because one is like 3 shots. I was like, wait a second, how many shots are in that mocha pot thing? Like, the mocha pot's what a lot of people use to make coffee here. And so the one that I had 3. I was having 3 of those throughout the day, thinking it was just like 1 cup of coffee. So I was having 9 shots of espresso. And then here, the mocha pot is like much bigger, so I never have any idea how much I'm having. So sometimes, like, I've been doing, because I love my coffee, like I love the taste of it. I don't know, in America, I just felt like I could have more of it and it was not as much. I know it's like espresso here and we have coffee at home, but even at home, it's like I could have a giant latte and it would only have 2 shots in it. You also can't order a latte, at least in Italy, because that just means milk. And if you order 3 shots of espresso, then they're just gonna give you 3 separate shots in cups. And if you ask for a big cup, they'll put all 3 in separate big cups. It's just like a whole thing. And then, so yeah, now at home, I've been having like 2 cups of coffee, and then I was like, you can't do that. Like, that's like you're having 4 to 6 shots of espresso to start your day, and I'm still kind of having a hard time sleeping. So today I was good. I measured it out. I have 1 cup of coffee. It should be 2 or 3 shots of espresso. So I should be feeling good today. And this is my new commitment to myself because I've cut out alcohol. I don't know for how long, at least for January. Not that hard because I don't have very many plans here. I don't know anybody here. And anyway, I want to talk to you guys about my book. Once I get onto my coffee, then we'll start talking about the book. Okay, so we're on to the coffee, but I want to have my Kindle here to refer to some of this stuff. So last night when I was reading, it was talking about like your own uniqueness, your soul. In this book, Transurfing, they call it like your unique frail, I think. Yeah, frail. So your soul, what makes you authentic. And we all have that. And it's like when your mind and your soul come into alignment, the book says that's when you're able to allow in your chosen reality, your manifestations, all of that. But when you try to follow someone else's path, like a celebrity or an influencer or someone else that's doing great at your job, or whatever it is, it's just not going to work, because that's not exactly how your soul wants to live. And so there's a unique path for you. And I think that I've been guilty of this because I was doing so many like Amazon courses before, and like watching all these videos and stuff when I had an Amazon business. And they, and other businesses too, the gurus will teach you, like, look at someone else's business and like just pretty much like take that and change it a little bit. Like, that's how all businesses are made. I remember someone teaching that, like, that's how all businesses are made. It's not usually from an original thought. And that was the name of the game on Amazon, was like just competing with what's there already. Because if you were to think of a super original idea, like, no one's really searching for that on Amazon. And so it was an exciting time because it was a cool business for a little while, but it wasn't what my soul wanted to do. Everything has always been to set me up so that I have the freedom to follow my soul's purpose, which I feel like is along the lines of helping. Well, no, I know it's helping people remember who they are and get what they want, because that's what I'm so passionate about for myself. And so I like to learn about it for myself, and then why not just share everything that I'm reading and learning as well. And so that's kind of my path that I've been realizing, and we all have something. So last night as I'm reading this, I'm like sitting down, and this is a practice that I've developed for myself a few months ago before moving here to Europe. It was like how I decided to do it. I would just sink into my heart, and I would ask from my attention, like, just, how you can put your attention on your hand, you put your attention on your heart space, and you ask your heart space, soul, what do you want? Like, I can't believe they've been like screwdriving. They always do like 4 screwdriving things a day. It's like, and then it's like, okay, I guess we'll start up tomorrow. And it's always early in the morning. Okay, so you ask your heart, like, what do you want? And last night I was asking, I was like, what do you want? And she was like, I want land, I want animals, and it was so sweet, because the mind is always talking. It's very hard to hear the soul unless we give it space to be heard. And I think like the book talks about, like, one of the easiest ways to know what the soul wants is by making a decision, or like having like a decision to make and being like, okay, I think I will go with this decision. And then you'll feel that like subtle, no. There's a part where the soul's like, oh, really? Like, that's so cool. And it says like, that's almost like excitement, but like nervousness because it's so excited. But then there's the part of the soul where it's like, no, like I had a date a month or 2 ago, and I just dove too deep into the thoughts of like, wow, I just got to Europe, like maybe this is the guy, this is the husband, like, like he's tall, he's a professional athlete. And I was just like, my mind was playing all these stories. And my soul, the second I saw him, I was like, no. My soul was like, no, it's not him. But my mind was like, no, I think she said yes. I think she said yes. And even after the date, when we said goodbye, it was like, I knew, no, it's not him. But my mind still tried to ignore it. But in that moment, I share it because it was so easy to reflect on and be like, that was my soul being like, no, honey. And so I think that we can all find moments where we made a decision. It was obviously, just a lesson. It wasn't like the best decision for us, the most aligned one for us. And we can reflect on that feeling we had. And that's our soul. So you'll know too when it's like you decide something and your whole body is lit up. You're like, yes, yes, yes. That's when, your mind and soul are in alignment. And so the goal in life really is to have them always be in alignment, because if your mind and your soul are always in alignment and you're always choosing what you want, then you're going to be transurfing. You're going to be literally flying through timelines and getting what you want all the time, because that's the secret formula, is mind soul alignment, and then also not having any importance with the things that you want. Like, you cannot put it on a pedestal, the thing that you want. And let me find, it had like a quick sentence of the secret sauce. I highlight so much in here. Okay. Listen to what your soul is telling you to do. Consciously remove importance. Let yourself have, and you will get everything your soul desires. So, listen to what your soul is trying to tell you. Consciously remove importance. So you can't make the desired manifestation, timeline, outcome so like, I gotta have it. You can't want it so bad. Like, initially you'll want it, and then you'll choose it, and then you can't want it anymore. You just have to know that you're gonna have it. That's what let yourself have means. And so in one of the other videos I shared recently, I talked about how in my meditations, my guides kept telling me, follow the yellow brick road. I was like, what the frick does follow the yellow brick road mean? Like, I know the Wizard of Oz, but they're like, it'll make sense soon. And then I arrive at the kingdom, palace, whatever, in my meditation, and then they're like, okay, give it 4 human days and you'll see what this means. And then this book starts talking about the Wizard of Oz and how they all want something. The lion wants courage, the Tin Man wants a heart or a mind or whatever, and the other one, the Scarecrow, wants a heart or a mind. There's the second screwdriver for today. And Dorothy really wants to go home. And I'm going to end it here, but let me finish this quick thought. All they had to do was know that they already have all those things. And Dorothy just had to really know and believe that she could go home. And so you just have to know. You choose it, and you know it's yours. Let it go. Stop putting it on a pedestal. Nothing is better than you. None of your desires are better than you. If you think they're better than you, then you don't think you're worth them. And so you gotta just go through all that and look at the childhood and be like, oh, it doesn't matter that you treated Minaka wasn't enough, because I'm not that person anymore. I'm this person right now, and we are older and we are different and we are separate, and I forgive you because you are not the person that did those things to me. Your unconsciousness did those things to me. You and I are 2 drops in the same ocean. We are one of the same consciousness. And so therefore I forgive you, because forgiveness isn't even a thing. There's nothing to forgive. There is the unconsciousness here that keeps us in these boxes and makes us convinced that we can't get what we want, when actually we can get what we want when we just see that these conditions and these programs have been designed to keep us thinking that we're powerless. But when we see them for what they are, we no longer are controlled by them. And babe, we're free. We are so free. And so that's how we can easily let go of all resentment, is by knowing that it's not them. It's not them that did it. It's these conditions in life. And all those conditions, our soul chose to come into encounter with them so that we could just remember who we are, and that we could move through this. And like, that's kind of the whole thing that we're doing here, is coming to earth, forgetting who we are, thinking we're just a little mere human, and then trying to remember who we are. And so when you can do this, you're gonna evolve so quickly. And then life isn't meant to be so hard. Life isn't meant to be just like lesson after lesson after lesson after lesson after dark night of the soul, after all these things. It's like maybe you were just meant to have them up until this point, and now you can choose with your free will, with your mind, and your soul is probably in agreement with this, that you want a life of ease and grace and joy and health and abundance. Those are all your birthright, and you deserve them. They are not better than you. Don't put them on a pedestal. You are worth them. You are them. The truth of who you are is love and unconditional love, and infinite abundance. So, oh, I haven't even had my coffee yet. Okay, I'll see you in the next clip. Now it is time for meditation and morning routine and everything. And I just did my first part, which is mindful breathing, and I breathe in truth, out authenticity, like focusing on those words for 15 minutes. But I did not go very deep today because I had to back up my phone last night, so I had to keep it on, not on airplane mode. And then when I check my phone first thing in the morning, it gets my mind going, and it gets me in this place of like not being completely centered. And so I love to keep my phone on airplane mode until I'm done with my morning routine. So it's okay. Tomorrow, back to normal routine. No phone in the morning. I think recording is okay, but I probably won't do my morning routine every single day, because even just like recording kind of throws it off. I don't know. I'll figure it out. Oh, I also brought this one crystal with me to Europe, and the raw material law of one. If you haven't read the raw material and you're into like spiritual stuff and metaphysical stuff and just interesting stuff, you should read the raw material. Or I like to do the audiobook because it is like so dense, and so I can just listen to it, rewind it, listen to it again. Like, you have to be paying attention to really understand what they're saying, but it's like, it's so incredible. I think it's the most interesting thing that I've ever read or listened to. So definitely read that. But the raw material, raw, says Ra is like a channeled entity from this woman, and her husband is I don't want to say it wrong, but he kind of asks the questions while she's channeling Ra. And so Ra says that to be able to heal and to have all these like access to a certain kind of frequency, like to use a crystal when you're meditating below your chakras, is very beneficial. So I've been doing that. Been sitting on my crystal while I meditate. Next step for the meditation is 30 minutes of sitting and doing my connection with my angels and guides and asking for any messages from them. I made a video on how I do it. I just connect down, up through my heart, clear all the chakras, because Ra says you have to have your first chakras cleared in order to be in your heart chakra. And we were in third density before on this planet, which would be your solar, and then somehow now, which I don't quite understand yet, we're moving into fifth density, what the planet is. And so in order to be compatible or something, like we had to be able to move through all three of those chakras first and then up to the heart, because they were saying that we're moving into fourth density, but then all these like spiritual people, my hair, are saying that we're moving into fifth density. Like, I just don't understand how we went from third to fifth. When I figure it out, I'll come back here and I'll share. So anyway, I clear all my chakras, connect up to the highest dimension, come back down, expand my heart out to the entire universe. And then I say, divine team of the highest truth, come forward. Whoever has a message for me today, please come forward. And then one of my spirit guides usually presents themselves and then has some messages, and then we chit chat. And then I get all these amazing things show up in my day or the week that is relevant to what they told me. And then I'm like, this is pretty freaking mind blowing. So I'm gonna go do that. And then I do Wim Hof. And then I take a cold ass shower for 2 minutes. And then I'm good. That's my morning routine. And then I'll make some eggs and some toast. And I don't have any peanut butter. I bought this Biscoff thing. It's so good. It's like so sweet. I threw it away because I was like, I cannot eat this whole thing, because I will in one setting. So anyway, so I did my meditation of connecting, and it was so interesting. So I had one guide show up who is just like very spunky and direct. I'm gonna open this because it's a little hot. The fresh mountain air. Somehow having this open all the time is not cold, like it's like the perfect temperature. But yeah, she was saying to bring more joy. She was like kind of showing me how we used to be when we were younger, and how, let's see, is that better? No. Oh. And how we used to play and everything, and like she was really relevant, I guess, in my childhood. And so she was just saying, you gotta have more joy, more joy. And it's funny because I was just talking to my mom about this. She was in a hit and run accident with a car hit her when she was on her bike. And so she's going through it with her back right now. She was just like about to be like a national champion. She just won state and was doing really, really well. And now she can barely walk. And so she received some hard news last night, and that her injury is not actually a lot worse than they thought. And because she broke her back in different places. And so I was like, the most important thing you can do right now is find joy. And it's so easy in that moment when you hear that, when you're going through something like that, to be like, my joy was taken from me. My joy was riding my bike, or my joy was whatever it was. Like for me, I love solo traveling right now, but there are hard parts. Like my joy used to be going to get coffee in Laguna Beach, or going to the beach, or, you know, going to my gym and doing hot yoga. Like joy is different now. And I have to find here, like, what brings me joy in these unfamiliar environments, other than like seeing new things. Like when you're here for a month and a half, it does get a little repetitive day to day. And so if you're like going month and a half to new places, especially because you don't know people, so you don't have plans to like keep you busy. So you have to find things that bring you joy. And so today my job is to find something that really brings me joy. There's like this pet store, not like an American pet store in the mall where you buy puppies out of a box, a little glass box, but like it looked like there were like big animals, like sheep and like pigs. I don't remember. They were, reflecting back, I'm like, what were those animals? I don't know. So I think I might try to go there today, do something new. My passion is animals. So that, and then my other angels and guides who like have been very relevant in my day-to-day meditations since coming here, they were kind of telling me like what this chapter of life is, and like how to best show up in alignment with my soul, and how it really just has to do with mind, body, spirit, mind, body, soul. I have this little tattoo here, and to me it's a Celtic knot. To me it means mind, body, soul, Trinity knot. It's matching with my best friend from Scotland. I'm half Irish, and so Celtic. But anyway, so mind, body, soul, throughout the day, every single day, focusing on what is serving my mind, my body, and my soul. So my morning routine here really serves my mind. Meditation, breath work, also my body. So I'm about to do my Wim Hof. Maybe I'm putting it off, but my Wim Hof breathing, and then getting in that cold shower. And then I just bought a yoga mat, which is so exciting. I bought a yoga mat and I got it on Amazon. Here in Switzerland, Amazon's not a thing. Not at least, like Amazon works by country. And so you can pick like Amazon United States or France or Italy or Germany, but there's no Switzerland. So it's only occasional that, well, it's like, I don't know, it's pretty frequent, but like 50-50 if they'll deliver to Switzerland, like from Germany or France's. I think even the UK will deliver here, maybe Italy sometimes. So anyway, I got a yoga mat, it arrived. It's really heavy for some reason, not ideal for traveling, but it's nice. It's like a natural cork. And so now I'm doing yoga in the mornings too, and not like a yoga class like how I used to in my beloved classes with other people, the energy of a room and hot yoga. It's different. But I'm finding the joy in that. I listen to, if you look up sound healing on YouTube, there's this girl, she looks like such a goddess. Her name starts with an M. Her stuff, the first time I heard it, I was like sobbing because it just was opening things up and sending codes to my body. Like it was so huge. And so I listened to her, like her 30-minute one, and I flow. I mean, I just started doing this yesterday, but I'm gonna do it again today. And I was like sore from that. All I've been doing, I used to work out like hardcore every day. And so ever since being here, all I do is walk now and walk with Arlo. And yeah, that's like my exercise, and snowboarding sometimes. And so I was really sore. I think like the stretching, I don't know, opened something up. I healed my body from Lyme disease. And so when stuff like that happens, I'm like a little triggered because I'm like, this isn't normal. Like I shouldn't be hurting right now. Like, are my muscles okay? Stop shaking. No more. I see you. No more, just relax. So it's fine. I released any attachment or ideas about it. I'm in good health. I'm moving closer and closer to even better health. And there's still some things I'm healing from that whole experience. Mast cell activation syndrome, if you know anything about it, that's what I'm working through. So anyway, I should get started with the breath work. Look up if you want to do it, Wim Hof breathing technique. You follow it, 3 rounds. It's amazing. It's like doing drugs, but not really. Like you feel high, and it can be a lot. Like his breathing technique can be a lot to the nervous system, especially if you're very dysregulated. But I love intense things, and so it works for me. And then yeah, get in a really cold shower for 2 minutes and try it out. You're getting the last thing, getting in a cold shower or doing cold therapy has the potential to 2.5 times your dopamine levels, which is the same effect as doing cocaine. And doing cocaine, only that effect with the dopamine lasts for like, I think it was like 9 minutes, something very short. It goes up and then it goes down. But with cold therapy, it's like hours, like throughout your day, and it's sustained high levels of dopamine throughout your day. So if you're looking to increase your dopamine, like I feel so much better, so much happier, so much more clear, so much like more focused when I'm doing this. Although it's like very miserable, you can do anything for 2 minutes or however long you decide to do, but I'm doing 2 minutes. You can do it, just breathe through it, find your center. I did it, and it was very difficult. It's always very difficult, but Andrew Huberman says that when you do difficult things that you don't want to do, the space in your brain increases, and it's completely relevant to the longevity of humans. So the people who live longer tend to have bigger of these spaces in their brain by doing things that they don't want to do. So professional athletes have it, and people who take cold showers have it. And so when I take my cold shower, I try to focus on the lymph node areas. I focus on my thyroid. I go like bit by bit, like cold, okay, breath, cold, and then I just like rotate. And then I didn't do today, but if you put your face in cold water, like some people will put their face in like a bowl of cold water instead of doing cold therapy, like an ice bath, because there's nerve endings in your face that supposedly have the same effect as a cold plunge. And so by doing that, you get the similar benefits. So run your face under the freezing cold water, and like I'll cover my mouth so that I can breathe while I'm doing it. But this really just works the best here in Switzerland because the water's freezing. In California, my water wasn't that cold, but it was still hard. So there you go. Also, I'm still wearing a towel. I got this like Swiss natural deodorant. Doesn't work. I stink so bad. I'm gonna give it like another day or two, but good thing I'm single right now. That was my biggest fear, was not being able to find a good natural deodorant here in Italy, because, or not Italy, Europe, all of it, because I use, what's it called? Native, and that works for me. I saw I could get it on Amazon, but it was like double the price. So I was like, I'll try this out. Yeah, it doesn't work. So I'm gonna keep searching. We'll see. What I've noticed about these Airbnbs that I've been staying in is that they get really dusty. I don't know if it's because they're smaller apartments or what, but like I have to dust and broom every day. So I'm going to do some yoga, lay my mat down. but I'm gonna broom or sweep first. So Arlo's chewing on his ball in the background, sorry. So that this doesn't get all yucky, and that when I'm laying there, I'm not like looking at all the dust. So what I'm learning with starting to flow again and do yoga is that it really doesn't matter like the sequence that you're doing. For so long, I've been practicing with a teacher guiding me at all times, and I very rarely just go on my own. But that's kind of the message right now. That was the message in the book. That's the message with like what I'm doing here. It's like, it's not gonna look like what someone else's looks like if it's gonna be perfectly designed for you and your soul and your path. And so it was really nice to just do this flow and to stop where I needed to stop and to like really feel into where I was stretching and where the pains were and like where it felt good. At like one moment I started tearing up because I have this pain here in my back rib, and I've had it for a couple years now. I've been noticing it, and I just went into it. And I've done this a few times before, but I need to do it more. So I went into it with my focus on it while I'm in the stretch that like is engaging it. And I'm saying like, what version of me are you? Like what version of me needs to be heard? And it took me straight to a memory. And it was so much still alive in me. That memory was still alive in me. And so I was able to sit with that version of me and just hear her and accept her and love her and tell her like it's okay and I'm here for you, and also talk to her about some of the parts that she decided to suppress within us because of that event. And I got to say like, no, we don't have to suppress that. It's actually a gift, even though it was tied to this scary moment of like, it was a younger version of me who I wanted to go with my dad to drop off my friend, and he was friends with my friend's dad, and he said no. And on his way home, he was in a car accident and drove off the side of a cliff at nighttime and almost died. And if I was in that car with him, I would have died too. Like he had to break the window and jump out and all this stuff. And I sat at the bottom of the driveway for hours. My phone died, but or not died, was full of battery or full of whatever storage. I sat at the bottom of the driveway and I knew something bad was gonna happen, and I was in so much fear. I sat there until it got dark, and even in the dark I was sitting at the bottom of the driveway. And so I think that I suppressed that part of me that could tell, like had that intuition and the ability to have a premonition and to have psychic abilities, which we all have, but they were strong at that point. And I feel like because of what happened and what indeed was accurate, that he was in an accident and how I saw he was going to be in an accident, I think that scared me so much that I was like, I got to turn this off. And so just being in that stretch and having that conversation, I'm like, I understand how that could be so scary, talking to that version of me. And I said, like, that's actually such a gift, and it doesn't have to be scary every time. And we can start using this gift now, and I'm here with you, and I understand you. And so, powerful stuff. If you have any pains, go into it. Ask what version of me needs to be heard, and just wait for something to come to mind. And the first thing that comes to mind, first memory, that is it. And go into it and go further and further and further into it. So, very interesting. Taking my spirit guide's suggestion, and of course all these cars come right out. I'm taking my spirit guide's suggestion and inviting more joy into my life, doing something new. It's so cool. And I left Arlo at home so that I could do this thing. I'm really excited. I looked up the thing I was talking about, like the pet place. I looked at pet store before, and then I saw all these cows and stuff, but I think it was just a vet. I don't know if this looks weird with my breath. And they go to people's ranches and stuff. It wasn't like these cows and everything just in the middle of town. So I found this other place, and it's a horseback riding place, and so I'm excited just to hopefully like touch a horse. We'll see. The other thing that I did, which I wanted to do, I saw a cool clip that it's small, but I saw a cool hair clip that I wanted the other day, but I didn't get it. I got a different one and I didn't like it as much, so I went and got it, and it makes me happy. So we gotta do little things, these little things that make us happy. I don't have any treats, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Oh. Sweetie. You're such a pretty girl. So that was amazing and so exciting to pet some horses. I'm so happy that I did that I followed the joy. The girl who helped me said that she could do some lessons with me so I could learn how to ride winded English, and I used to ride Western, and so that would be great. And then she also said that I could go in and see the horses whenever I want and pet them, which is honestly like therapy. It feels so good. So yeah, I used to do that with my roommate in college. We would go to the Humane Society and pet all the dogs there in the shelter. So this felt really, really good. I think I needed it. I needed like a change. I've been doing kind of like the same thing every single day. So this is really something I've been doing recently is going to really expensive stores and trying things on. This coat was 12,000 franc. So I don't know, like $14,000. Very expensive, but I'm just getting my brain used to expensive things for manifestation. And then the other thing that I did after this was go get delicious treats and get coins for laundry and then some Epsom salt for a bath. Okay, so Arlo and I just got back from his little evening walk, and there was another little Australian Shepherd puppy. Arlo is an Aussie Doodle, so half Australian Shepherd, half Poodle, and they played so hard. So that was great for him. I'm very, very happy for him. And now we're gonna have some dinner. Yep. And I'm gonna run a bath, have Epsom salt in it this time. I've just been doing water because I didn't have Epsom salt, so it'll be very nice to have a little treat of the Epsom salt in there. And yeah, I'll see you in the next video tomorrow. And thank you so much for watching. And this is a new style of video. If you do like this, so you want to see more vlogs like this, where it's like a vlog throughout the day rather than just like chatting with you or chatting about a topic, if you like this better, let me know, because otherwise I would just keep doing like individual topic videos like I was doing before. So thank you so much for your support. I really, really appreciate it, and I will see you in the next one.